Hey, good morning, everybody. I do not have my glasses on today. There was too much of a glare, and it was distracting me, and I'm sure it would distract anybody because it was like you couldn't even see my eyes. So we're gonna try it blind today. Let's see how that goes. I wanted to talk about labs. So many people have short labs that are stocky, and then other people have really tall, lanky labs that are very hyper. How can they both be labs, right? So that is kind of what I want to discuss today. There's actually two different types of labs, the American lab and the English lab. So we're going to break them down, and if you're, wanting to get a lab, this might help you on what you want to get. So let's dive on into that. Okay, so both of the English and the American, they were both bred from the St. John's Newfoundland water dog, and they used to pull carts and stuff back in the 1800s. They'd help the fishermen with their nets. And the English, they are now, more of the lazy side. That's what I like. I like the lazy dogs versus the American, which is super athletic. They're always the ones that like to go, 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 go. So I wrote down some notes so I can make sure not to forget anyone. So until the 1940s, there was actually only one type of lab. And obviously we bred for different qualities. So as I said a second ago, the Americans, we wanted more for hunting side. And so you need tall, athletic, go get the birds, bring them back, and just go, 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 go. While the English side is more of a laid back type of dog. So they'll still go get it, but they have just a more softer approach versus the go, 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 gun hole type style. So the Americans, they were much more bred for like the field, like actually hunting and working long hours. Hunting was much more widespread, popular in America versus the England. So the American lab, it is more powerful with the canine hunting sports, but it's not as calm as the English, obviously. So they had high energy levels, and they worked harder than the English at getting all their stuff. Getting the birds, the game. We like our hunting. So the size differences. So that's kind of the personality. I have my kiddo, he is all about the lab. So he has all of his show labs, which are the English labs, and they're very stocky, they're very short, they're very, very calm. Like, I just love them. And I have an American lab here named Ruby, and she is quite the opposite personality-wise. She's very high strung, I guess. She's not super like hyper. She doesn't jump on me or anything, but she just wants to go, 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 go. I spend hours, and I mean hours and hours out of my day now playing fetch with this dog, because that's all she wants to do. She just wants to go, go, go. And she'll bring me balls. We'll go outside, we'll throw, and then when we come inside, she's still giving them to me, and I'll toss them up in the air and let her work on her catching it in the air. I feel like I'm helping my kiddo with his baseball practice or something, like pop flies. And then I'm telling you, they go a lot. So of course, English labs, they're more stocky. Everything about this dog is large, and a lot of people just think, oh, your dog's overweight. No, that's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to have the great big barrel chest, the big head. They're supposed to have the big body. Their tail is like an otter. I mean, it's just huge. And so that's how they're built, while the American labs are more lanky. They're tall, their face is more narrower, they're real sleek, their tail is thin. I mean, to me, it should almost be like two different types of dogs, but they're all classified under the one. So the thinner, leaner dogs, more agile, more able to keep going, while the English lab, more stockier, more laid back. They're not as fast. It's so funny. My son's labs, they'll try and keep up with my poodles, and they cannot. And it's so funny because they're like, and it's really funny to watch. But anyway, so many people, they mistake English labs just as overweight labs, but they are certainly not. So keep that in mind. If you see one that you think is just super, super fat, I guess, because you're used to the American, then that's different. Now the color similarities. So the chocolate, black, and the yellow. Those are still the 3 colors, but you can still find like the foxtrot red and the silver, but they are not classified under AKC. They're just, it's kind of like a Merle poodle. It's is what it is. So typically you would see the chocolate in the American, but you can find them in English. One of the guys that we bought are my son's lab from, he wins Westminster all the time, and so we got a kick butt male lab from him, and his chocolate just won breed in Westminster, and then I saw her at a dog show, she won again. So it's not the most desirable, but if your name is Juan and you have the most amazing stuff, you're gonna win. He's super nice. Anyway, so the English, we believe, or they believe, that the chocolate just never really picked up because the English found it less desirable. And so they kind of bred the other ones. They didn't really breed the chocolate as much. But my son loves the chocolate. We do not have a chocolate because they don't do as well in dog shows typically. So we have yellow, and we just bought the black puppy from him. It gets shipped here at the end of this month. I'm so excited for him. But he wants a chocolate so bad, and so we're gonna get him a chocolate, even if it's just for pet way. He just wants it so bad, and he's 8, and I tend to give him everything he wants because I love him so much. So we'll probably get him a chocolate too. So, but energy differences, as I have kind of touched on. If you have a high-strung family and y'all are always go 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 go, then the American would be awesome. If you have super young children and you cannot go go go, but you still want a lab, I recommend getting the English. My son, he has autism, and he's 8, and he has 3 labs, and they are perfect with him. Now the other one, the American who's here, she is not overly in his face or anything, so don't think that if you have an American they're going to jump all over your kid. They may or may not. Every dog is different, just like with the English dogs. But the English are just so more laid back than the American is, even with him. Even just the minute we got them, I mean, they're just like my poodles, very laid back and chill, and I think that's why I like them so much. I know all dogs are different. So, like I said before, the American, that girl's had me go, 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 go since the minute she's gotten here. And I've watched her several times, and every time it's just go, go, go. So, the breed standard. So, the Kennel Club, they describe it's all under 1. So you really don't see Americans there because they don't really meet the standard. However, they don't recognize the difference. So I guess because they're not really of show, but if they were to, you would need to completely do different things because the American's so much taller than the English, and there is a size limit on there, a height difference. If you ever want to know the breed standard, just go to AKC breed standard for your dog, and it's like a PDF file that saves to your phone or your computer or whatever, and just look it up there. I won't bore you with all of that, but there is a height of like 21.5 to 22 inches tall, and usually and then up to like 24 would be for the other. So blah blah blah. I just kind of wrote that down. I was skimming through that, but it didn't really matter. Most people aren't looking to show they're wanting a pet, so we're talking about pet stuff. So the breed comparison, that's what I'm down to now, because I wrote notes so I wouldn't be so awkward. They do not identify Labradors as American or English, like I just touched on. Rather, they distinguish these dogs as pet or working versus show dogs. So English is more show side, and the American is more working. If you have an American dog, I recommend giving it a job, even if it's a pet, even if it's just playing fetch a lot, like I've been doing with Ruby. Let them have some kind of outlet, or they will chew stuff up, I would imagine. With her, I don't give them much of a chance to try to chew things up because I'm constantly engaging with dogs. Like if I have an Australian Shepherd or whatever dog is here, I do what they need. I even have a poodle here. She's very calm, Turns out she loves to play fetch. And she is not as good as Ruby is, and it's so funny because she'll go out, and her name is Finley, so if your owner's watching, shout out to Finley. But she'll go out and she's like and the ball will go way over her, and the Ruby, the lab, she's up looking like, where's it at? And so it's crazy to see the differences. But poodles don't really play fetch all that much, or not the ones that I've been around. My poodles don't really, they like the ball, don't get me wrong, they will chew on a ball, but they don't really get it and bring it back. But Finley does whenever the other dog lets her get it, but I kind of throw it secretly to her. But then it's really funny because she'll get the ball and then she'll bring it back to me and she'll drop it right at my feet, and I'll go to get it. Well, Ruby will grab it and then move it a couple feet over and drop it at my feet, and I'm like, she did okay, she put it where I could get to it, so back off, Ruby. But anyway, so the price differences, let's kind of just touch on that. So the English is more popular than the American. Shout out to the English, but that's because I like laid back chill dogs and I like to show them. So with the English, you can pay, it depends on to where you go, if you're going to find a backyard breeder, if you're going to look for a legit breeder, but you can pay anywhere. They're less expensive than poodles. I believe they're about like $1,200 or less, maybe $1,500. While the Americans, you can find those suckers real cheap, like $800 or so. But you're gonna get differences in the quality too. So if you want that super high strung, go, and it's kind of thrown upon you too. Like if you get one of these, you have to put in the work for it. You can't just be like, it's not optional. With a poodle, for example, it's if I want to be at home all day and do nothing, they're fine with that. The Ruby, for example, these American labs, no, there is no just staying at home. Like, you will go do these things. So that's why, unfortunately, a lot of the American labs end up in the animal shelters. So keep that in mind when you get one. It is thrown upon you, that kind of work, not just optional like it is with the English. I really like the English temperament better. I throw my arm out every day with Ruby. Like, I feel like, and I'll be stretching it and stuff, and I'm just like all miserable. Throwing a ball that much. I mean, I'm telling you, it's hours and hours and hours. It's not like, 10 minutes. No, I'll sit out there for hours. Yesterday, I clocked it. It was an hour and a half at one session. And I was like, Ruby, I can't keep throwing it. I was trying to throw it with my left arm. I'm like, Ruby, come on. But I'm afraid to throw it with the little doohickey that you can throw, because I don't want it to go off too far and then end up like in the neighbor's yard or something. Even though it's huge distance, I don't know my own strength. I may be super strong, I don't know. Coat differences. Okay, let's talk about the coat differences. So the American labs, they have thinner coats than the English. However, I've noticed, I know a lot of things out there say that the English shed more because they have more of a thicker, denser coat. It's more softer. But I find that Ruby sheds a lot more than my kiddo's English dogs. But that could just be because she's so much older than them. He just now got into these labs, so they're just kind of now getting into the shedding aspect. But I keep everything super clean, so that may be, if you're cleaning all the time and grooming them all the time, that may play a difference too. However, when I say grooming, I just mean like brushing out. You do not want to bathe them all the time. A lot of articles say to bathe them like once a month. However, that's not really optional if you want to keep your house super clean, due to the fact that they like mud. I swear, almost every morning, well, let's backtrack. The American has not been getting dirty. My son's English dogs love mud. They will literally dig and then lay in mud. And so their butt is always covered in mud. Like they sit on their hip or something, like a person. So that is one thing. I'm constantly cleaning off mud. With the the American, she's not doing that at all. So that may be a difference too. She just wants to play ball. She doesn't care about the mud. The other guys are like lazy hippos. They like the mud. And that was a big thing too in the, like when I was doing research to make sure I didn't forget anything, mud was a big thing. And I'm like, I understand the mud. I hate it when it rains because they will jump right into the mud every time. So if you take away anything from this, English labs like mud. The Americans like to play fetch. So, but they do have a denser coat, the English do, and they are been known to shed more. I haven't really noticed it, but I do keep them pretty brushed out. So let's kind of recap. Let's just do a little recap. I wrote down a little list here so I do not forget anything. Okay, so the English Lab, its purpose, show dog. American, hunting, working, great family companion as long as you can go, and I mean go all the time. Height 21.5 to 22 inches for the English, and then 21.5 up to 24 for the American. Weight 55 to 80 pounds for the English, and 55 to 70 pounds for the American. I will tell you, the English dogs, they are lazy to the point of at nighttime I put everyone up in their kennels because I try to crate train every single dog we have in case they have to go to the vet or whatever. Dog shows, you got to be crate trained, right? So at nighttime, everyone goes in their beds to sleep. It's their little safe space. If the dog is too lazy, like one of my son's dogs, her name is Piggy, and he named her obviously. She's so lazy. So you have to be like, come on, Piggy, but she's so heavy that if she wants to lay down, I have to have my fiance get her up because she's so freaking heavy. So 80 pounds, I freaking believe that. And she's not even 1 year old, and she is so heavy. And they're so stocky. It's not like picking up a 65-pound poodle or even the American dog where she's tall. They're just heavy. They're just heavy. So that's another thing. Keep that in mind. Colors: chocolate, yellow, and black. And then of course you can find the other colors I mentioned, like silver and then the reddish color, but the red is actually still classified under yellow. It's just less desirable if you find it more red. You want yellow, like old yellow. Appearance: round and stocky for English. I'm about to say it backwards. And more of your model, slender, tall, gazelle type for the American. Energy levels: calmer for English, super let's go do some stuff if you like the American. Price anywhere $800 to $2,000, and then $800 to $1,200 for the American. We paid way more than that for my son's labs, but they come from like Westminster Winter. So the American labs, they have the slender, everything's real slender, everything's just very and then the English, everything's stocky. Their tails will take you out. Not like a golden retriever though, but I'm telling you, at first, so when my son decided he did not want to get into poodles anymore, I'm sticking to poodles, but he did not want to. He's too cool for that. He wants his own thing. He wanted labs, and I was like, well, why don't we get a golden retriever? Because I'm thinking, they're so cute. No, it was the best decision ever. I am so glad God put in his head to stick to the labs because they are awesome. They are not, the English is what I'm talking about. They are not hyper. They are not high strung. They are not anything. They are little, they fit so well with my poodles. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to have two different facilities or get a bigger house so I can have labs on one side, just because I thought they were going to be all over the place, and I'm not a fan of that. But no, they fit right in with my poodles. I mean, they are just perfect. They are the sweetest dogs ever. And obviously I'm not switching breeds. I love my poodles. I will stick to them forever. But it's an awesome breed for him to do. I just love it. So if your kiddo, especially if you have a little boy and he wants a manly dog, because he still has his poodle, but she's retired, and I think he, in his mind, is like, how can I love another poodle as much as I love Bijou, which is his poodle's dog's name, and they are, she's a grand champion in everything. I mean, he took that dog all the way, and I think he just thought, let's get my own little thing, so I'm out of my mom's umbrella. It's an awesome breed. So if you are looking to change a breed, I really, really recommend the English Lab. I also like the American, don't get me wrong. I my arm just cannot take the amount of throwing the ball. My arm hurts so bad, and she doesn't go home until Sunday. Next Sunday, not today. But anyway, but she is wonderful. She's very smart. Ruby is. She's awesome. So to me, you can't really go wrong either way. But if you're more of the homebody, because like I said, he has autism. The only way we're getting out is if we're going to a dog show. That's the only way he wants to leave. I really like the English labs. I just love them. I could go on and on, which is why I decided to make this thing to tell you about the differences, just in case you didn't know, because I didn't know. I thought they were all, I thought that the tall one, I didn't really realize that was a lab. Like, I don't know, I didn't really think, and this was when growing up, I didn't think that there were two different things. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I don't know. I just thought the English ones were fat. But anyway, that's because there's two different ones. But I hope everyone has a wonderful week and stay awesome. And if you're looking for a lab, here's the differences. Here's everything you need to know in this little video. But y'all have a wonderful day.